job.
On Secretary, no, you talked about...
Who you with?
Washington Examiner, sir.
Okay. Good paper, actually.
Are you concerned right now, again, with the speed of the deportations? Obviously, Tom Hogan, Stephen Miller have talked about this isn't enough.
Well, it's going to take a long period of time. We're going to have a lot of angst because it's a tough thing. But no, I think they're doing an amazing job. And you know, we're doing a lot of home deportations. We're doing a lot of deportations or self-deportations where they come in and they deport, and then they want to come back into the country. And they can only come back into the country under no circumstances unless they go out the proper way. Otherwise, they're never coming back in. No, I think it's going very well. Look, Biden did us a tremendous disservice when he allowed this to happen to our country. And I always said it's the toughest thing. You know, I had inflation and I got rid of it. We don't have inflation. I had a bad economy and we set a new stock market high today. We're doing unbelievable. The country's doing unbelievable. I always said the most difficult thing is what happened at the border, allowing 21 or 25 million people to come into our country. It's the most difficult thing. It's a very hard thing. I think we're doing a fantastic job in getting them out. But you have a lot of self-deporting, a lot more than people understand. And those people are eligible maybe to come back in.
Mr. President, are you thinking of extending the pause on tariffs beyond July 9th?
No, I'm not. I'm not thinking about the pause. I'll be writing letters to a lot of countries. And I think you're just starting to understand the process. We've dealt with Japan. I'm not sure if we're going to make a deal. I doubt it with Japan. They're very tough. You have to understand they're very spoiled. I love Japan. I really like the new prime minister too. Abe was one of my closest friends, as you know. The new prime minister is great. He's a very strong guy. But they and others are so spoiled from having ripped us off for 30, 40 years that it's really hard for them to make a deal. You know, it's very hard. As an example with Japan, they won't take rice, and yet they desperately need rice. You know that. But they won't take rice. They won't take other products that we have. But think of it, they need rice so badly, but they won't take rice. I think that was an easy one. Or the cars, as you know, they send out millions. We didn't give them one car in 10 years. They won't take any cars, but they'll sell millions of cars. So we told them, sorry, you can't do that. And we have a great relationship, great reliance, and really a great sort of a partnership in a way. But on trade, they've been very unfair. And those days are gone. So what I'm going to do is I'll write them a letter, say we thank you very much. And we know you can't do the kind of things that we need. And therefore, you'll pay a 30%, 35%, or whatever the number is that we determine, because we also have a very big trade deficit with Japan, as you know. And it's very unfair to the American people. So they maybe will be happy, they maybe won't be happy. But some countries we won't even allow to trade. But for the most part, we're going to determine a number and just very simply write them a nice letter, probably one page or a page and a half at the most. And it's going to be essentially congratulations. It's going to be an honor to allow you to go and do business in the United States of America, because it really is an honor to be able to do that. But we never viewed it that way in this country. And you saw we took in $129 billion in tariffs already. We haven't even started. No inflation. Our country's strong. Our interest rate should be 3 points lower. If our interest rate was 3 points lower, that's almost $1 trillion in cost. And it's done just by the signing of a pen. But we have a moron at the head of the Fed. He's a moron.
Speaking of Jay Powell, do you have a top choice?
I do. I have 2 or 3 top choices.
Can you show us those?
No. You almost got me there. No.
Are there other trade deals that are close to being done that you think you will announce over the next week?
I think we're going to have a deal with India, possibly. And that's going to be a different kind of a deal. It's going to be a deal where we're able to go in and compete. Right now, India doesn't accept anybody in. I think India is going to do that. And if they do that, we're going to have a deal for much less tariffs. Thank you for telling me, by the way. Yeah.
Investigating him, investigating the auto pen. What's your further investigation?
Well, the auto pen is under investigation. the auto pen's a serious thing. I think it's one of the most serious things I've heard. Mayorkas was a terrible, terrible secretary, but he was given orders to do things, and the people that gave those orders probably have pardons. You know, Biden pardoned a lot of people. The only one he didn't pardon was himself. But I don't know if I'd do to him what he did to me. The problem is he wouldn't understand what happened, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad.
There's a video with Speaker Johnson's telling him about how he stopped the LNG gas and he
Right.
thought it was something else.
Oh,
How many
yeah.
more examples do you think there are that Speaker John or that President Biden just didn't know what he was doing?
President Obama was a terrible president. President Biden was the worst president in the history of our country. President Bush should not have gone into the Middle East and blown the place up. So I don't give him high marks either. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. I give Trump very high marks. Goodbye, everybody.